everyone. Welcome to the Laughing Place Disney Morning Show. I'm Kyle. I'm the executive editorial director. And over there is Luke joining me this morning. Hi, Luke.
Hi, I'm not Doobie.
You're not Doobie,
Nor
but
am
you
I
are in
married to
charge of
Doobie.
comments, in case you forgot. And we will have
Oh.
another special guest in just a moment. But first, we're going to start off this episode. Despite the change in hosting, we're going to start the show as we do every show. All right, so the Disney stock this morning. Let me go. Oh, wrong button. No, that's the right button. I just need to add it to the stage. Let me refresh just to make sure we're getting the latest information. It went down even more. 111.99, and that is after earnings. It's down like $1 from when we checked it yesterday. But we'll be discussing the Disney earnings. Maybe we'll get some more insight into why that's happening. But first. Here's Ethan.
Good morning and welcome to another LP Disney weather report. They told him, "Don't you ever come around here. Don't want to see your face, you better disappear." The fire's in their eyes and their words are really clear. So beat it, just beat it. You better run, you better do what you can. Don't want to see no blood, don't be a macho man. You want to be tough, better do what you can. So beat it, but you want to be bad. Just beat it, beat it. No one wants to be defeated. Showing how funky and strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. Just beat it. Just beat it. Just beat it. Just beat it. Let's get to the weather. Anaheim will be overcast today and reach a high of 62. Walt Disney World will once again see a high of 81 and mostly cloudy skies. Castaway Cay hit 75 today with lots of sunshine. Lookout Cay at Lighthouse Point will be slightly cooler today at 76 degrees. Disneyland Paris is in the upper 30s this evening and will thankfully stay above freezing tonight. Tokyo will once again be sunny tomorrow but only make it to a high of 46. It will be a very similar story in Shanghai tomorrow with a high of 46 and sunshine. Finally, Hong Kong will be cloudy tomorrow and will be in the low 60s all day and night. And that will do it for another Disney weather update. Have a great day and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
So the big thing happening in the world of Disney today is that we did get their earnings. So we're going to bring on a special guest, and I actually made a new intro for him. So let's play it.
Straighten up, man. It's the captain.
Good morning, Captain.
Hi, Ben.
Okay, explain.
You're the captain.
There's far too much Michael Jackson going on so far.
I was like, I wasn't sure what you were trying to say with that. So
Well, I
okay.
realized I needed a new intro for Ben. This was after Ethan had already selected Beat It to sing, so it was unrelated. I also enjoy the wave in your hair this morning. It's got a nice tsunami. But I also know that you got up at like 3, so I'm going to not give you crap about that and just ask you about Disney's earnings this morning.
I did get up at 3. So I put CNBC on my phone and then I put it on my nightstand, and then I wake up and I see they've announced the earnings. It was like 3, and so I ran downstairs and put on CNBC, and in the end, they beat the street. So I think we both predicted there was going to beat right, Kyle? So
Yeah, I think they probably do 90-something% of the time.
right. So, but they didn't up their guidance. So what seems to be happening, and this is a new thing, because Disney didn't used to provide guidance really, which was like saying what they expected to be in the coming quarters. So they basically said, okay, yeah, Q1, which is for Disney is October through December, was much better than they anticipated, and we'll get into why in a bit. But we're not quite sure what's going on with the world, so we're not going to revise the guidance for the rest of the year. So I think that sort of tepid reaction to say, yeah, we beat this time, but not we're not promising we're going to beat every time, is causing the stock. It's down slightly, like 1.5% right now. It's been up as much as 4% today. So it just sort of, it's a whole lot of nothing in terms of that. I will say there was not a lot of news in the earnings call today, but I do think we learned a lot. We gained a lot of insight. I've watched a couple interviews Hugh Johnston, the Disney CFO, did, and then they did the earnings call. And there's a couple of things I thought was interesting. One is I'm surprised at how well the parks did, considering, they took like $150 million hit because of the hurricanes.
I think it was 120 or something.
Okay, something like that. Yeah, and not to mention the sort of large cost for launching the Disney Treasure. If you remember, Disney Treasure had that big sort of party in New York City, which is, and then they still did something down south for the media. So it was there was a lot of on startup costs for the Disney Treasure, and that they were able to manage that through this quarter, I think, is quite impressive. I wouldn't have expected the parks to beat as much as they did in terms of expectations. The other thing that Disney also did well is they lost a lot less subscribers with the increase in Disney Plus costs. So
But I read that they were bleeding subscribers.
they lost 1%, which I think definitionally means not bleeding. But they got 5% more of the people who stayed. So I think you'll take that every day. So a lot less churn and with a lot less content too. You remember Disney Plus used to have there's a new show every week and everything, and now it's gone to a more sort of sustainable level. They don't have as much as like Netflix does, but it does seem to be finding the right match, for what they need. They talked a little bit about Netflix too. Obviously, Netflix had an amazing quarter that they announced a couple weeks ago. Meanwhile, Comcast had a terrible quarter. So Disney kind of threading the needle, I think, between those two sort of case scenarios. But they already have a news division. They already have a lot of sports. So the stuff that live that Netflix is kind of tiptoeing themselves into, with the couple NFL games and the boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. They of Disney's Bizarre Park fame. I think they feel like, okay, we're already doing that. We have a lot of that already. So they feel pretty good about their slate. So it'll be interesting to see what level Disney invests in content moving forward. I don't think they ever plan on just throwing as much stuff on the wall as Netflix does, but will they be able to do things like password sharing, crackdowns, and improved recommendation engines? Bob Iger did say he thinks that the front page of Disney Plus, the opening screen, could use a lot of work. So expect stuff there.
He's right.
He's absolutely right. And I could provide a list of things that drive me crazy about just the interface of Disney Plus. But
well done, because I was thinking about doing that for the podcast.
Oh, good. Okay. So so I think it's just sort of it was interesting to see them talk about how they're strategizing here. And on the Disney Plus side, that's going to become the main app. You'll have Hulu, you'll have ESPN, but Disney Plus will be your one-stop shop for everything. Half of the people that have Hulu watch Hulu on Disney Plus. I should say bundle subscribers. Those that have both. Half of them watch on Disney Plus, which I'm included. I don't go back and forth unless I need to.
We do for General Hospital. Becca can't watch General Hospital through. Disney Plus,
I mean, there's weird things like that, but for most of like Paradise, I watch on Disney Plus.
See, I'm actually the other way around on that, because I have had so many things that I've been watching on Hulu to then kind of port it over to Disney Plus. There's no easy way to do that. So I've kind of just been keeping them separate myself. But if there was a way to kind of integrate them and port all of your Hulu shows over to Disney Plus, I think I would be more willing to do that.
Yeah, I guess, I wasn't in a place where I was in the middle of something with them. Or if I was in a place where it was a clean break and I could start on Disney, like a new season was starting. So I watch Only Murders now on Disney Plus. It's just kind of nice because I can go to continue watching and see everything I'm watching, because I only watch Disney product. And but the other thing that I thought was interesting that is escaping me, so I'm going to pretend I don't remember.
Well, before we get to that, then you mentioned how Disney Plus doesn't have a new thing every week anymore, but it has been interesting. I think Disney underestimated. I mean, as we've seen with Moana being the number one movie again. Whenever, as we've been checking the top 10, Doobie and I, anytime there's a new movie on Hulu, you're like, why is Ricky Bobby in the top 10 things? Oh, it's just new to Hulu. So having that like library content, even at not Disney library content, kind of pop up and people are just looking for something to watch. I think that's been something that they definitely underestimated that they're kind of starting to understand now.
Well, I think too, obviously the Moana is the most streamed movie for 2 years in a row. That's on Disney Plus. Four of the top top four actually TV shows on streaming are Bluey, Grey's Anatomy,
Family
Bob's
Guy, then
Burgers, and
Bob's.
Family Guy. Not necessarily in that order, but
Family Guy,
um,
then Bob's.
okay, Family. And those are Disney. Well, besides Bluey, they're Disney produced shows. Grey's Anatomy is also on Netflix, but they're on Disney Plus. Two of those came from the 21st Century Fox acquisition, so I'm not saying it justifies it, but it's an interesting.
Take that,
point.
Nelson.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting, I think, to see, especially as a Disney fan, as they roll out flagship ESPN, whatever that's going to be. That's going to take a lot of the oxygen out of this ecosystem. So how does that impact the Disney side of things, just in terms of attention? But it'll be interesting to see as we move ahead, if they can actually get to, I was going to mention, we got a little bit more information about the venue Fubo thing. So Hulu plus live TV is not really obviously the core product, especially as they're moving people more to Disney Plus, which doesn't have it. So it was a way of having a team that was focused on live television, so that can focus on it and kind of develop it, focus on that kind of product. So improve the Hulu Plus Live TV, not get rid of it, but make it better by people who are focused on it. Because if you watch Hulu Live TV, which I have, it's kind of clunky. But then, why did Venue go away? And it cost Disney $50 million in the quarter for it to go away. It's because they, after they said, okay, we can do skinny bundles, everyone started offering skinny bundles. So then they don't need to offer skinny bundles. Which begs the question, why didn't they just let these people offer skinny bundles to begin with and not go through all this trouble? But, the one thing about streaming, and I don't want them married to one thing. I mean, even Netflix, they say, we're never going to have live sports. We're never going to have advertising, and then they end up doing it. So this thing is obviously very fluid as we move ahead, but it's interesting to see how that whole sort of mix-up cost them $50 million and ended up basically where they were before.
Well, I have one more question about streaming before we let you go. One of the things that wasn't really mentioned in the call, but was something that Hugh said on the CNBC interview, was that you're probably going to see fewer options for streaming. They're probably going to cut that down, because right now it is pretty unwieldy having 3 different services and different variations. What if you had to guess, what do you think would be on the chopping block? I have my guess, but I'm curious what
ESPN Plus. I feel like they didn't mention it at all. There's not a lot of ESPN Plus original content. I think that they will make that just part of flagship. I don't know if necessarily the branding is going to go away, but I think ESPN. They've already said ESPN flagship will include ESPN Plus. So I don't know who's going to really want ESPN Plus, unless you're. Even there's talk of they don't want all the UFC rights moving forward. So they've really stepped away from that. And, it'll be interesting there's lots of rumors talking about okay, maybe ESPN can get local rights. Maybe ESPN can do this, that, and everything. But I think that's all just going to roll into one ESPN product instead of having these different sort of variations of it.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right there. But I also am wondering if future bundles, instead of giving every combination of things, if they'll make it so that if you want the ad-free tier, then you're going to have to get the full bundle, whereas the other ones will be because we already know that ad supported's done well for them. They're kind of pushing people towards that, so I could see them doing that, where you have to pay the top tier to get the ad-free.
Yeah, I also think what was interesting is they also said that they don't expect prices to really rise dramatically. So I think we had that big price increase at the end of last year, and prices are going to go up. Prices go up everywhere, but I don't, it's not going to be a huge step up. So if there's not a huge step up, there's not going to be a huge the kind of level of content you have right now is probably the level of content you're going to have forever. So, I think when we started with Disney Plus, we had all these crazy dreams of everything we wanted and 12 new shows a week and all this stuff. And now we're getting to, okay, this is the level Disney Plus is going to be living at, for better or for worse. I think there was a time when, as someone who spends a lot of his time watching Disney, thinking about Disney, I couldn't keep up. And so if I can't keep up, then very few people can keep up.
You were tuning into Disney Family Sundays?
Yeah, there's strange stuff like that. Or, what was the crossover? That's gonna be a Disney trivia question someday. It's like, was a crossover really a thing? Yeah, it was. So which I think we all knew that they were going to start with stuff and see what worked and what didn't work, and just kind of threw everything to the wall. But obviously you're going to see more international stuff because of the deal they made with France, and probably as they try to make sure that those markets are served. But I wouldn't expect the crazy pace where you had a major Star Wars show with a major Marvel show with some random Disney Channel type show all happening at the same time. I think that era is done. And this cadence of, a couple things a week, a couple new episodes, some Disney Junior stuff. I think that's where the sweet spot for them right now.
Cool. Well, thank you for breaking that down for us. We're going to move on, but we'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Luke, we got some news out of going from the Disney earnings to Hong Kong. Hard pivot.
And just before we get to Hong Kong, I wanted to mention that Fred says greetings, Luke and Ben, even though Ben's gone. So greetings.
Hello.
And Aaron says hello as well.
Wow.
And asked you if you like to play either the guitar or bass or keyboard.
I have a guitar. I've played guitar. I play bass, and I want to learn to play piano or keyboard, but I'm not good at it.
There you go. Now we know.
Mother-in-law plays piano, though. Anyway, now we're going to talk about Hong Kong. So what's going on? 20th anniversary, which is kind of crazy to me. Feels like they were just alive. Oh, Ben's still
yeah. So Hong Kong Disneyland opened for the first time back on September 12th, 2005. So it's going to be turning 20 years old this year. And they are celebrating what they're calling the most magical party of all. And it's going to include a brand new stage show in front of the Castle of Magical Dreams that will include appearances from Mickey, Duffy, and some of the Disney princesses. I would say the most substantial thing that they've announced so far is a brand new parade. Which is going to be called Friendtastic! !
Of course. It's
yes.
Like Fantastic. Anything that ends with the ick.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to have that exclamation mark in there. And this is supposed to be the largest ever parade at Hong Kong Disneyland, which will include 11 party floats with Disney friends, including Mickey, Minnie, and more. And the concept art shows that we'll get Daisy, Donald, and Goofy as well, as can probably be expected. And then the last thing is going to be a brand new addition to the Nighttime Spectacular.
Speaking of the bass, or it might be a cello, but I'll call it.
Oh, yes. Didn't even click that. The last thing for the celebration that they've announced so far is going to be a brand new addition to Momentous, which is their Nighttime Spectacular. Which I have seen in person and is indeed pretty spectacular, albeit kind of long, maybe a little too long to be standing in front of the castle. But yeah, no, this looks fun. It looks like it's going to have Mickey with some balloons, and those balloons look to be made out of drones.
Drone balloons.
Things
that fly.
Yeah.
Well, sticking over in the realm of the international parks, DVC members can now use their points to book hotel rooms at some of the less expensive hotels at Disneyland Paris, including Hotel Cheyenne and Santa Fe and the Disney Davy Crockett Ranch. I didn't realize this wasn't a thing you could do before, but no, it was only the higher tier DOP hotels.
Yeah, I had no idea that you couldn't do that either. Or have you stayed at what Disneyland Paris hotels have you stayed at?
I've stayed at Art of Marvel for a
Okay.
media night. I didn't pay for it. And then I wanted to stay at Cheyenne. We visit Cheyenne almost every time we go there. We go to the Starbucks over there rather than the one in Disney Village when we can. But I've stayed at Santa Fe one time.
Okay. Yeah, Cheyenne is Cheyenne for a Valley resort is I very much enjoy the theme. But yeah, I've at some point in my life I think I've stayed at all of them. But recently I've stayed at Marvel. I also had a media night here for Laughing Place at the Disneyland Hotel.
Ooh.
So that was fun.
Very cool. But yeah, so if you're a DVC member and you want to stay there, they do have their point charts up now, so you can decide whether or not that's a good option for your visit. And with the big game coming up, Luke.
What if
got a
there
new-
was
The big game.
we can say Super Bowl. We're allowed. They gave us special permission. No, it's because if you're an advertiser or a brand that's not an official sponsor of the NFL, that's why you can't say Super Bowl. It's
That makes
a
sense.
misnomer that
That
nobody
makes
can say
sense.
it. People can say it. But anyway, what's this new ad about?
Well, in this ad, you can see some of your favorite Disney characters and Hulu characters just kind of disappearing. And it's voiced over by Disney legend Josh Gad,
Thank you
who
for using his full
poses.
name.
Yes, who poses a variety of questions like, what if there was no galaxy far, far away? Or what if they didn't assemble? Or what if nobody got murdered in the building?
that is kind of the punchline of the entire
And
ad.
the ad proves that doesn't matter because all of those things did happen, including the murder. The murders did happen. So you can enjoy all of those delightful products on Disney Plus and Hulu. It
What did you think of the ad?
was okay. It was, I saw Super Bowl or big game ads. So I was like, I don't care. But I'm to those of you who are not aware, I'm not a big sports person.
Yeah, but
I
you know
thought
the
it-
ad doesn't have anything to do with sports,
which I
right?
found out when I clicked on it. Yes.
It usually doesn't. It's just we're going to show this to a bunch of people.
Yes. And
I thought it was also just okay. I like the
Yeah.
concept, but I wish that they changed the verbiage in the second half because it just felt really long and redundant. The punchline kind of makes up for it, but not enough in my opinion. I thought it could use a little trimming.
I've definitely seen worse ads.
That's fair.
Yes.
You will
So,
see worse ads
cute.
on Sunday while
Yes.
you're not watching the game.
I will see worse ads when they pop up on YouTube or Twitter or TikTok, and I see them there.
But actually not this weekend. One weekend after that, Marvel's Captain America: Brave New World will open in theaters.
Yes.
And as they tend to do, the AMC and Disney Springs got all decked out with this red carpet-esque, even though it's a black carpet, entry and these banners and stuff. I think it's kind of fun to have, obviously it's AMC owns it, but I like that they are like, you know what, people are at Disney World, they want Disney, so let's just go over the top every time with, like, it has its own carpet. It's a very exclusive backdrop that people want to take a photo with, I guess.
And no, that is not Banner on the banner.
It's a great point. It's a different Hulk.
Not Banner.
But also, speaking of the Brave New World, as we get closer to release, we got a video of Captain America, Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie, going to, this is in Nevada, the Nellis Air Force Base, and he went skydiving with some actual people that do this for a living. Let me just kind of skip ahead so you can see him. Of course, he went tandem. He didn't go by himself. That's
Can't let your major star do that.
no. Yeah, insurance would not cover that. He's not Tom Cruise. So yeah, pretty cool promotion. And that movie opens the 14th on Valentine's Day. But if you're like most people, you'll probably see it on the 13th because that's how movies work these days. And that's going to do it for that segment. Let me hit the bumper for the next one.
And I've had my share of bad reviews.
I still remember my first good one, though. Everything else in this production of Our Town was simply terrible. Joey Tribbiani was abysmal.
Speaking of abysmal, not really. That's just our bit. Alex did a Blu-ray review of A Real Pain, the Oscar-nominated feature from Jesse Eisenberg, also stars Kieran Culkin. So his headline is Searchlight offers a stunning transfer of Eisenberg's emotional odyssey, A Real Pain. His subhead is A Real Pain Comes Home, Blu-ray review and bonus features. I might have messed that up, and then his final paragraph: A Real Pain arrives on Blu-ray with a strong presentation that does justice to Jesse Eisenberg's heartfelt and introspective dramedy. The film's beautiful cinematography is well preserved in a clean and natural-looking transfer, while the DTS HD 5.1 audio mix ensures that every poignant exchange and delicate musical note is delivered with clarity. Though the bonus features are limited to a single making of featurette, it provides worthwhile insights to the film's themes and production. With its award season recognition and stellar performances, this release is an excellent addition for cinephiles and collectors alike. Whether you're revisiting the film or experiencing it for the first time, A Real Pain on Blu-ray is a worthy investment, offering both emotional depth and technical quality in equal measure. So yeah, it sounds like an endorsement of the physical release. Have you seen this movie, Luke?
I have not.
I anticipated as much. It's pretty good. It's a short movie, 90 minutes. So if you need something to do, I think it's worthy of your time.
Okay, good to know. We do have a question before we move on from Fred. What are your predictions for the opening weekend of this film? And I'm assuming by this film we mean Captain America: Brave New World.
We probably do. I haven't been looking at tracking at all. I'll say 90. Just completely pulling that out
Not
of
quite
my...
making 100 million, but
I mean,
almost there on the cusp of it.
And it's not Black Panther.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
And the rest.
We're going to head back to Disneyland Paris for a moment because we got not one, but two pieces of news out of Annette's in Disney Village, a restaurant that is the late night hangout for everyone that visits that park, it feels like. Themed to 1950s. I assume it gets its name from Annette Funicello. And they introduced their Burger of the Month here. It is the... I forgot the name, but it's it's ink squid, black bun, beefsteak, bacon, spicy cheddar cheese, plantain, and spicy peanut sauce. And as picky as I am, I might try it. The thing that I like, ink squid bun, I know it's supposed to look creepy. I've heard that there's maybe a little bit of taste to it, but it's probably not as much as you think. I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't love plantain. I've tried it. But yeah, it sounds fairly interesting in my opinion.
It's called the Savory Safari Burger.
Thank you. I should have written that down in my notes. It's also served with spicy vegetable chakalaka and coriander, cassava chips, and sweet potato fries. That's
I was going to say
it was flavored with regular fries. Come on now.
I was going to say those fries look good, and then I realized they were sweet potato fries, and I got disappointed.
I've come around. I don't love sweet potato fries, but I've come around on sweet potatoes a little bit. We've had a couple of dinners where we have mashed sweet potatoes or home fries, and they're okay. So I'm willing to give sweet potato fries another chance, but they still don't compare to regular fries.
Maybe Annette's Diner at Disneyland Paris is not the best place to give sweet potato fries another chance.
That's a good point. I've never eaten there, and don't need to start. But, the good thing is I won't be trying this burger because it's only the Burger of the Month, and I have no plans to go to Paris this month.
That you know of.
That's true. Also at Annette's, so starting tomorrow, they're offering a new breakfast, and this is unlike the adventurous Squid Ink burger, fairly standard. There's an American breakfast with eggs that they're not charging an extra 50 cents for that we know of. And then there's vegan petit déjeuner, just breakfast. And some other small items. So nothing too exciting over there.
I mean, to a Parisian audience, an American breakfast is exotic.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
You're correct, except that French breakfast is better. Because they have better breads and stuff. And yeah, it's always surprising at Disneyland Paris how much of it is Americanized. You kind of harkens back to when Disneyland, there's like just 3 types of restaurants. There's like your burgers and fries place, your pizza place, and then maybe something a little off of that. That's basically what it is at Disneyland. Barbecue. That's the third one. That's
now
just like
now
all the
that
rest
I've
of
been
Disneyland Paris.
to every Disney resort except for Shanghai, Disneyland Paris hands down the worst food. Not even a contest.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Japan, we got another update about Star Wars
Celebration?
Japan.
Yeah, fans of the Star Wars sequel trilogy will be happy to know that Poe Dameron himself, who the cool kids often call Daddy Dameron, will be appearing at Star Wars Celebration. The actor Oscar Isaac, he will be there, which takes place April 18th through the 20th in Chiba at Japan's Makuhari Messe, which I may have butchered.
That's okay.
But yeah, tickets are available for Star Wars Celebration, and we will, of course, be on site at Star Wars Celebration. I know our own Mike Celestino will be there because he is our Star Wars guy, and who else to send but the Star
and
Wars
he's
guy?
doing his own panel. He's doing a
Yes,
live podcast
yes, good
at
point.
the event.
In Japanese.
No.
Oh, okay.
Maybe translate. I hope they have a translator. That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
Anyway. See, I get too distracted when I have to do everything.
You're turning into Doobie. You are Doobie.
Well, for our Around LP section today, I do just want to mention that Alex has recaps of both Will Trent and High Potential. So if you've been watching those shows and need to dive a little bit deeper, he does a great job breaking everything down in detail. So in case you are on your phone and missed a moment, no need to rewatch it. Just read our recaps. So head on over to Laughing Plays. We also have recaps, as I mentioned, of Paradise. That's up now. So be sure to check those out. Are you ready for your quiz, Luke?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready. Bring it on.
All right, first up, on this day in 1950, someone was born. Here is a poem about them. There once was a man with great flair, whose voice filled the villainous air. With a laugh so profound, he made evil renowned, and his cackles would cause quite a scare.
Jeremy Irons?
Relatively close. Different Disney Renaissance villain.
Is it the guy from Hunchback?
No, it is not.
I'm at a loss then.
All right. Well, what if I told
or
you that he voices... What?
From Tarzan?
No, he voices Jafar.
Oh, I could not tell you his name.
It's Jonathan Freeman.
Okay.
Also played Jafar on stage.
Oh, okay. I think I knew that.
I'm trying to figure out why... Copy image address. Let me just set up my thing. Next, on this day in 1953, a movie was released. That's already a big hint.
That is a big hint.
An animated movie released in 1953.
All right. I'm going to say that's Peter Pan.
It is indeed Peter Pan. While I show that, let me read the poem that totally would have given it away if you didn't already know it. A boy who refused to grow old in a world where the young hearts are bold. He flew through the skies with no tears or goodbyes and made pirates and fairies take hold.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't get it from that,
can't help you.
You're not a Disney fan.
I'm not going to make you guess this next one, but on this day in 1992, this happened.
Did you know that
There was an ad. Once we get past the ad, then you'll find out what happened.
Beauty and the Beast, Don Hand producer, Bugsy.
The first animated movie to receive a Best Picture nomination at the Oscars.
And it
Beauty and the
lost
Beast.
to what? Silence in the Lambs, right?
Silence of the Lambs, yes. But it did win the Golden Globe, as you see in the fantastic feature Waking Sleeping Beauty by Don Hahn, producer.
Which
as she
is,
said.
yes, very enjoyable. Is that still on Disney Plus?
It is thankfully still on Disney Plus.
Okay.
I believe Howard is still there too. We saved it from the clutches of tax write-offs. And then Luke, on this day in the year 2000,
All
a
right.
beloved decom. I'll go on a limb and call it a beloved decom.
Okay.
I don't know if this poem is correct, but let's go with it. A girl from the South met a friend whose views seemed too strange to defend. But through talks and through strife, they discovered new life, and the gap they once knew would soon end. Maybe take the broad strokes of that, because I don't know if the details are correct.
Is it like the color of friendship or something?
That is
along-
indeed, Luke. The
Okay.
color of friendship. Fantastic job. I applaud you. for that.
I have never seen that, but I've heard about it, and
Yeah.
and that seemed like an apt description for it.
Well, that's the end of our show. It is past 10 o'clock, which means it's time for me to refresh the Parks blog and be disappointed. Yep, disappointed.
No vamping necessary today.
No vamping necessary. We made it thanks to Benji's help. We made it past the half-hour mark. There's people holding Oscars. I don't know who they are. Yeah,
And neither do we because we can't see it.
New episodes of Spider-Man dropped.
Oh,
Go
fun.
check those out.
Have you been watching
There's a
that?
thing that says on this date Peter Pan debuted. We know Disney Family Museum. We already went over this. I've seen the first two Spider-Men. I have not seen the most recent three Spider-Man. I got confused because I looked at Fred's comment, and so I started to say Peterman, like J. Peterman. Anyway,
Tiedemann.
we'll be back tomorrow. At least one of us will. Don't know who else will be here with me, but someone will be, I'm sure. So thank you all for watching. I don't think we have any other streams today. Let me double check the thing.
Not that I know of. I know we have a walk and talk scheduled for tomorrow at
Yes,
Disney's
we'll be
Hollywood
at-
Studios, and we've got another one coming up on Saturday from the Disneyland Resort.
Yep. So be sure to subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified when we do go live, and we'll see you all real soon. Bye.